I gotta make this whole video all over again because it just didn't tape the first time. Anyway, keeping my channel active fragrance-wise, gonna do, because the new Versace Eros Flame came out recently, kind of realized I've never actually done the original Versace Eros, so may as well do a kind of comparison video or just do both the videos or both fragrances, kill two birds with one stone, whatever. I'm sure you can feel the enthusiasm as usual, especially since I have to do this twice in a row now. Ridiculous. Anyway, so I've actually liked the original Versace Eros. I've always thought the original Eros smells really good, actually. I know even back when it first came out, there some people like hated it because of the bottle, which I always thought was kind of weird because people consider the Invictus bottle tacky, but they don't consider the Eros bottle tacky. I always thought that was kind of weird, but I guess if you care about bottles, I think the bottle looks fine too, I guess. I mean, whatever, dude. But what does Eros smell like? I do agree with a lot of people that think kind of smells like kind of like a toothpaste kind of bubblegum kind of smell. I do get that. I also, back in the day when I was more getting into fragrances, or even a little bit before this, people really liked the Chanel Edition Blanche. If people were looking for like a lemon pie kind of fragrance, I actually think this does the lemon pie, vanilla kind of pie smell better than Edition Blanche. So if that's kind of a vibe you're going for, I think this does it better as well. In my opinion, I think it smells better. But besides that, so what is a way I can describe how this fragrance smells? So imagine that you take a piece of bubble gum, right? And right when you bite into the piece of bubble gum, a minty blasts in your mouth of like toothpaste and freshness, right? And it's very crisp. And this is a fragrance that, depending on the weather, the weather does bring out this minty crispness much more. So you bite into it, big blast of, like a Listerine mouthwash or breath strip, toothpaste, whatever. Green freshness, right? Then this green freshness goes away really quickly and it becomes, that cool blast becomes more of a vanilla apple kind of bubble gum, right? So you get that vanilla apple kind of bubble gum kind of smell. And then after that, maybe you get just a, after that greenness goes away, maybe just a bit of like a lemon kind of freshness is still left over with this vanilla. And you get a little bit of the tonka bean in the woods and all that kind of stuff. And it's just a really nice kind of scent. I like it. Sometimes I will say again, because I said that the weather plays a bit of a role in this fragrance. Sometimes when it's hot out, because of the big mix mash of notes and everything like that, sometimes it can smell kind of like a synthetic mess. But when it's on its game, it smells like a synthetic mess in the best kind of way. Like it smells really good sometimes, right? Like all this mix of notes just comes together, right? Personally, I know some people consider it a big tonka bean fragrance. I've always thought of it more as a vanilla kind of fragrance. Um, Sometimes, again, the weather can kind of play tricks, on the scent, and sometimes the vetiver and tonka bean mix kind of just smells off to me. But again, sometimes it's a synthetic mix in the best kind of way, right? So yeah, overall, a little bit of a lemon vanilla pie kind of thing, mixed with a fresh minty toothpaste bubblegum blast at the very beginning, that then becomes a vanilla apple kind of bubblegum kind of smell that then just becomes a kind of bubblegum, kind of smell. Whatever. I think it smells good. Performance is good. Compliment wise, I don't want to say it's one of my top complimented getting unsolicited wise fragrances, but it is a top complimented getting um in blind taste testing fragrances. When you have like ask girls to smell this or whatever, what's your favorite, right? And that terms of fragrances, yeah, it is a top complimented. It is one. It's one. I just feel like I just want to call it taste testing because smell testing sounds so weird, right? In that terms, it has one taste testing and smell testing like that before, right? So compliments are good. And even then, sometimes unsolicited compliments are a little bit random, right? So you can't really, sometimes that can be a little iffy. Anyway, I think it's a great scent. I like it. Performance is good. I've heard that it's been reformulated. Can't talk about that. My bottle is an original bottle, so I don't know. Now, compared to Eros Flame, First of all, I'm gonna put an asterisk towards this review because I've been pretty sick lately, and you know when you're sick a lot, sometimes it can make you a little more sensitive to smells. So I was not very impressed with, so I'm just putting this like as an asterisk because I've tried this out a couple times and I haven't been a big fan of this one when I've tried it out. I do think it smells better on paper though. On paper, the original Eros comes through a little bit more. Oh, I should say overall for this though, I do think the geranium in this, sorry, excuse me, is very strong. I don't know if I'm just sensitive to geranium, but when I think of geranium, I definitely would think of this fragrance like a, and I hesitate when I talk about notes. So let's just think about a geranium mix, right? I know because this, but anyway, on paper, this does have a little bit more of the original Eros with a strong geranium note, with a almost a little bit of Dolce and Gabbana, the one gentleman, if you've ever smelled that kind of smell, and a little bit of that Guess, is it Guess Night or whatever? There's a Guess fragrance with geranium that kind of reminds me of, kind of like a mix of those fragrances, right? On paper. On skin though, this is, and I didn't think it was that amazing on paper either. But now on skin though, this one was much worse at the beginning. It kind of smells like an old people candy kind of thing. Kind of smells like a bit of like a, imagine like a candy. Okay, so like kind of like an old orange people candy, an old people orange kind of candy, a little bit of orange kind of thing. And you know how sometimes on candy, if we're going to use the comparison that I used with the original Eros, how Eros was like you put a piece of bubble gum in your mouth and you get like a blast of freshness, right? Well, imagine like sometimes I think it's is it like peppermint or something? I don't eat a lot of candy, right? Like some like it's a white piece of candy and then there's like red stripes on it or something. Like imagine like so this is kind of like a bit of an orange, maybe almost a, what color is that? Like a sherbet almost kind of color. I'm not sure. Let's forget the color analogy. Don't worry about the color analogy. Anyway, so you got this piece of candy, right? Little shade of an orange, pale orange kind of candy, right? And it's got these little red stripes on it that is this kind of like cinnamon, spearmint, or like whatever the pepper is they use in this. And so you bite into the orange people candy, and it's like an old people candy. It doesn't taste that good. And then that kind of blast of freshness you get out of this is that kind of cinnamon pepper kind of thing real quickly, right? And I just don't think it smells very good. And again, strong geranium. And then as that goes away, you get a little bit of that. It's kind of like a Dolce and Gabbana, the one gentleman, with a Guess, whatever Guess the Guess fragrances with geranium, whatever. And then a little bit of the Eros continues to come out at the bottom, right? But overall, I just didn't really, I didn't really like this one. Not a big fan of it. Performance was okay, I guess. I don't know how it is for compliments because, dude, with my disposable income, I don't care. It's kind of, I mean, maybe someday I'll go to the mall with some girls or something and be like, hey, what do you think about this one if I'm really bored? But overall, it's like, dude, I don't care because I'm not going to wear it, right? You know what I mean? I don't care if you like it because it's not something I feel like buying, right? So yeah. Anyway, I wasn't a big fan of Eros Flame or whatever, but that's my kind of take on it. Put an asterisk next to it because I've been pretty sick lately, so I'm a little sensitive. But maybe I'll try it again. But yeah. Anyway, that was my fragrance review for Eros and Eros Flame. I'm only at 9 minutes. I feel like I should like stretch it out and talk about something just so I can get to 10 minutes so I can put some more ads on my video. Like how is anyone gonna like if I ramble for 30 seconds, is anyone gonna like fuck with me? Actually, I could probably just put like a Pikachu picture, right? Just to get the 30 seconds. Is that like really shady? That's pretty shady, but I think I'm gonna fucking do that. No. No, I don't want to do that because then I gotta fucking edit the video, alright? That sucks. Anyway, okay, but yeah, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. Other fragrances, I think I did recently smell that the new Uomo, so think about that. I need to do a review of that cherry, or lost my cherry, pop my cherry. You know, there's other fragrances I'm trying to keep my channel active with eventually, so I'll do those. But anyway, thanks for watching. The end.